All right. Okay. So, gonna be a very short stream. I'm gonna be doing a lot more stuff now, especially in the morning, my time. So today I'm going to do a short stream looking at like different game mechanics for like Metroid Prime series game and just like figuring out like how would I make it inside Unity. I'm basically doing this to make it where I can actually improve myself on like actually creating like core systems and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. Let's begin. Um, so since I don't have a lot of time for a stream, I'm gonna actually just jump right into it. I've been wanting to remake a lot of stuff for basically older games that I've played. Like for example, Metroid Prime. I actually do have it open just so I can demonstrate this and show you what I'm going to be doing. And also, I kind of want to have it open so I can actually do a breakdown of it. So I want to do like Metroid Prime's scan visor this morning and also do like the combat visor. For anybody that hasn't played Metroid Prime, when we talk about the combat visor Metroid Prime, we're talking about like the default view. So I want to kind of do like a breakdown of it and then see like how I'd remake it inside of Unity. Because like Unity 6.3 LTS is coming out today. For anybody that uses Unity, 6.3 is coming out in like I believe a few hours. They're actually doing a live stream in about an hour and a half. It might be actually sooner than that. So I'm actually just going to be using 6.3 from here on. But yeah, let's begin. So let's talk about it. So I'm going to just go straight into it. So combat visor. There's so many things about the combat visor inside of like the Metroid Prime series. I'm actually going to like put this on like half of the screen. So it's going to be a little squish, but that way I can actually have Cydia notes up and also take notes as I'm talking about it and also showcase a couple of things. So when we talk about the combat visor in like Metroid Prime, it's where like you have your like combat. It's where you have like your mini map and stuff like that. And also in Metroid, it's where you see like your ammo indicators and stuff like that. And pretty much also has like mini map and also your health bar. There are some UI elements that are actually common between different visor types. So as you see, like I enter scan visor, you still have your like HP bar at the very top here. So I'm going to be splitting core and common UI components like the energy and health bar into like a fifth thing. So I'm going to have like one little note for like combat visor, scan visor, x-ray visor, thermal visor. And I'm going to have fifth one that's like common elements or that's at least like more than one. So example also at the bottom left here, there's another common element. You can actually see like the boxes that are used to actually show off the current visor and then like the visors you have unlocked. So stuff like that. So that'd be like a common visor and so forth. So I'm actually going to create a note here and I'll make these notes. I have a little website that I've been working on and I can actually like start making it public. I'm going to be adding these notes onto it and adding like pictures and also linking stuff so anybody can read them. So I'm going to just say common between visors for now. I'll work on better naming stuff. So let's go and quickly just say what we have per visor. So in the combat visor, we have the combat mini HUD. Or I guess, let's say radar instead. Yeah, combat radar at the top left. I'm going to just do this, top left. And I'm going to also say we have the beam selection. Bottom right. I believe the beam selection is actually in multiple like stuff. I remember like when you do thermal visor, next stream, like since this was a short stream, I wasn't gonna like load the full save file because I want to just focus on combat visor and scan visor. But I believe the beam selection actually appears in all the visors except the scan visor, if I remember right. So that might actually need to be moved to like the common visor stuff. So I'm gonna say scan visor. And basically, you know, we have like our I'm gonna go ahead and say like energy tank bar. Let's do that. Okay, so we got our little energy tank bar, we got our beam selection. We also got visor selection UI. And I do apologize. I don't think my squeaky chair can be heard from like the mic. I do apologize if it is. This is in all visors. So we now have like a couple things. I'm gonna actually do so. I think my mouse cursor is actually showing. Okay, I believe it is. Yeah. So on the left side here, you know, you got your actual like danger indicator. So like in Metroid Prime, whenever you get to like near a radiation source or like like a very hot source and you don't have like the heat protection suit, you have like a danger indicator that shows you like how close to danger you are on the left side here. So I'm actually going to say environmental danger indicator. Also, it does the same thing for like a lava. Left bar. All right, so we got environmental indicator, we got combat radar, health thing. I don't remember if minimap shows during. Okay, yeah, I think minimap only shows during combat visor. I could be wrong though. It could also appear in thermal and X-ray visor. I'll have to. It's actually been a while. Minimap, and I'm gonna just say top right. So, and then at the right side we have our right bar is actually the ammo indicator, missile ammo indicator. So we got our missile ammo indicator, we have our visor selection, we have our beam selection, and then we have our mini-map and our combat radar and our energy bar. All right. And I'm actually going to put these into certain categories. I'm going to actually say these are screen space UI elements. And the reason why I'm doing that inside Unity, since Unity 6.2, you actually are able to use UI toolkit for world space. All you got to do is use like a world space panel. So if I actually go to like panel settings and so forth, I actually have one specifically for world space, and then like a world space with a specific 2D rec. You could do UI toolkit in world space, or you could do it in screen space. So I'm going to actually, while talking about stuff like this, I'm going to be actually showing off like the different UI and stuff inside like screen space and so forth, and stuff like that. And also, I don't know if I showed this off recently. Oh, wait. Ah. Oh, that was weird. 1 second. I just remembered I need to put in the actual input system because I was actually testing something out. I was about to literally like come in and actually show. I do have like X-ray visor actually working already, and I do have like a miniature scan visor. Because I have the controller plugged in. 1 second. I might found something weird with controller setup. All right. Well, anyways, I'm pretty sure all that's happened is that I moved between. I was testing out Unity Alpha 4. Almost said Alpha 5. Alpha 5 is not public yet. Ironically, Alpha 5's already in. They already got some stuff like work on it. But yeah, okay, that's what it was. Hey, where did my input action goes? That's rude. I actually already my input action actually got completely nuked. Well, that's not nice. That probably happened whenever I actually started testing out like what is it called, Alpha 4, Unity 6.4 Alpha. Okay, I was like, wonder what happened there. Let's go ahead and I am going to just actually create a new one. So I'm actually going to, we're gonna just create, I'm gonna do. Oh, did it actually just remove it from packages? Well, okay, side note real quick. No, it didn't. Well, that's weird. Oh, all right, I'll come back to it in a second. I was gonna show off like, oh hey, I already have like a X-ray visor stuff working, but that's okay. But anyways, fun times of testing out alphas. But somebody's got to test them out. So anyways, so these are basically like our screen space elements, right? We basically have it, and the reason why I say screen space, they're always at the front center. They're never like if you get away from them, they don't get smaller based on like your position in the world. They're always right at front. And there's also some world space elements here. So look at this. So if you, I don't know how well it shows on YouTube because of YouTube compression whenever you're streaming. Right around here, there's a rotating circle. So rotating circle. So if you notice, even though I move to your right, it actually stays there. And as I like move in and out, it actually is getting smaller and then bigger. So that could be two different things. That could actually be a screen space element as well. But what, and it's just getting the position of the object. So it could be getting the position of the object and doing, and like converting that position of the object from world space and like camera view space into basically like your UI screen space. And then like just scaling it as like your like in the distance to it. So as I get closer, it gets smaller. Or it could be world space, and what it could be doing is it's just like the UI is actually like acting like a world space billboard, and it just is facing towards you and rotating towards you. So it could be either of those two things. I'm gonna be honest. You could do it this way. So for example, we're gonna actually start with that. You could do it a couple different ways. I'm gonna actually go and let's go to my little trusty crates. I was actually testing out some of the crates. So let's actually go towards the crates real quick. So on my crates, I actually have one example of like a scannable UI. So you could do this a couple different ways. So you could have a world space UI element and per game object, or you could have a script, and when I mean per game object, a UI document. So you could have a UI document on each game object, or you could do it in screen space, and instead you have a component on game like per game object, like I do here, but you actually just use the component on each game object to say, hey, this is a scannable object. And you can actually say, okay, this is a scannable object. Well, in scan visor mode, check to see, is it like the scannable object is currently like in like the center, or if you're in combat visor mode like this, is the object near like the center screen. So you could do like a kind of like a padding for like dead screen space. And if it's like within the center and it's enough there, it actually appears. And what I mean by that, so if I actually go to this thing, if I get to the right a little bit, notice that like once it starts to like overlap the other, like the actual HUD, it disappears. So that's what I mean by a dead space, or like dead screen space padding. So you could do it screen space wise and just have like the screen space element like rotate towards the player. And ironically, that's actually not that bad either. So I'm going to actually, it might be a little awkward just because how Metroid Prime controls are. So if you notice, no matter what angle I look at, it actually is like never like rotating on a certain axis. It's all like facing towards you. It's always a flat image. So you could just have it where you have a scannable component per game object, no UI documents. You only have one UI document that just appears and moves in screen space to match the position on like the camera face. So like if I go up here, you could just have it like do like little calculations, say what is the most like what object is like the closest to center, get its world position, and then move the screen space UI element to it in screen space, if that makes sense. But yeah, so we could do it that way inside Unity, or you could do world space screen space would probably be the one. It'd probably take like a little bit more math, but it would take less setup overall, because if you had it where the object was world space, you would have to put like a UI document per object. Or actually, you know what? There is actually a way to make one UI document world space and work for every game object. Might actually be useful for like certain UI effects. But I'll have to check out that idea before I mention it. But yeah, so that's another thing to think about whenever I'm doing like combat visor. Like I said, this stream is literally just me analyzing stuff and like trying to figure out how I'd remake it inside of a game engine. Another thing to notice is like with the UI, it's actually like rotating. So like if I want to go inside Unity and I want to have like a little UI document thing that's rotating, I could do it a couple different ways. I could use USS styling, so I could actually do like a little styling thing, or you could do like an animator thing, so you could like add like actual animator. Since this is like if you did it like world space, you could just technically just make the object rotate, but I feel like that would be a lot more complicated than what you want. So what you probably want to do is, if I were to, let's actually do this. Let's actually just go ahead and try this out. I'm going to go to my Unity theme. I'm going to do combat visor. Let's do combat visor. Combat visor HUD. And let's actually do this. Oh, I already have, you know what? I actually already had a folder for combat or visor stuff. Okay, you know what? Never mind. We're gonna go here. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. So I'm gonna actually create a folder here. We're gonna say combat visor HUD, and we're gonna go ahead and just like make this real quick. So let's do this. We since I've already typed out some stuff, we know we want like a combat radar. We could use Inkscape for that if anybody's wanting to actually like learn how to make the UI for it. One thing you could do, like if you're just learning and you're just practicing, no joke, just take a screenshot. So I'm gonna let Inkscape open up real quick, and then I'm gonna say this for learning purposes. You could just take a screenshot. Don't hesitate. Like take a screenshot of this, and we're gonna just say that. And after we got a capture of that, I can actually just go into Inkscape, and you can just like drag in the file, and you can just trace over it. So like with the like radar thing, you would just have like a little circle inside Inkscape. You could make this one line. Let me actually change where I'm looking so it's easier to see. Yeah, there we go. So it's like one line, and that line is the same shape on the other side, and then you have like a shorter version of it on the bottom, and then triangle. So you'd have like one line inside Inkscape, two lines, and then three lines, and then you would do like a little triangle, and then you would do the center circle, like the fade out radius, and then like the bleeping dots. And you could also use the like a UI toolkit for that as well. And basically for like UI toolkit to do like an enemy minimap, you would basically use your character as the starting position. You would take like to do like a minimap system for inside of, let's say, Unity. I'm going to just do this. Yeah, let's actually do minimap. Combat minimap. Use as the center point. So get to center point as your character. Set a distance within set a certain distance. So a certain distance that the radar can see away from the center point, aka your character. And then after that, you could have it where, let's say, you could either have like interface, or like you could have like I'd probably say like just have like a small script. Like, no joke, you could do this. Like, I'm not kidding. You could literally do something like this. You could just have a mini map, or like, let's say radar marker. So I say marker because that sounds more like the UI thing. Like for combat, like radar, I'm gonna just say radar target, or radar indicator. Yeah, you know what? We'll just do radar indicator. You can literally just have like a empty class that's radar, and you could just put it on the game objects you want to be able to see on the radar. And whenever you do that, you would basically, yeah, literally, I'm not kidding, it'd be like an empty script. It'd just be this. You could literally just put this class on a game object, and what you could do is whenever any object that has like the radar indicator script within a certain distance of you, that is actually like a seeable on a radar, you just add them to like a list. And that list basically keeps track of within range radar targets. And then, like, for example, Metroid Prime. So like Metroid Prime, whenever enemy gets within a certain distance, they appear as like an orange bleep, as long as your radar is not messed up and as long as they're not stealth. What you do then is, with your character as a center point, get the distance to like check within a certain radius of your character. And that radius would, like, you would use the max radar distance as your radius. You could either use a raycast method. That'd probably be a little bit too expensive during certain situations. You could actually use a spear collider, and basically that spear would have the radius of like how far you want your radar to be. You put that spear collider as like a sub object of your player. So like I would put it as like let's create empty child. I'm gonna say radar spear. You could literally create like a radar spear, and you can just add a spear collider inside Unity. And I mean, you could take this into like Unreal or Godot as well. And let's say you want your radar to be like see everything within 5 things. You could have a script called radar detector, and basically you would have like a on trigger enter, and that on trigger enter component would actually be on a radar spear. Anything that enters that trigger that matches whatever filter for your enemies that you want to appear on your radar, you just check to see do they have a radar indicator. If they do have a radar indicator, add the current position of them and the current distance away from the player into that list. And once you have the list of what can be seen on your like radar, like right here, using your character as center point, you actually can take a UI element, because UI Toolkit actually has some built-in functions. You take the rect of the UI element, your character will be the center, in the very center of that UI element, right? You calculate your max radar distance. So if it's a spear of 5, if the enemy is 2.5 units away to the right, you know that is half the distance of your radar. Then taking the UI rect, you would just add a orange UI dot, that UI dot that's basically the UI element representing the enemy on the UI, and you just take it and make it half away from the center to the right edge. And that would actually allow you to keep track of enemies inside of Unity using like UI Toolkit, and you would have your own little like radar system. And I can actually, like, instead of just like talking about it, I can actually like say, I can actually show it. I'm gonna just say combat radar. Let's just say combat radar system. I can actually show like an example of this. So let's pretend this is actually going to be on the spear that's acting as like your radar sensor. I'm gonna actually just I'm gonna do on trigger enter, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna actually say public static. I'm gonna actually say list of. We only really need the world positions. And honestly, we don't need like we actually don't really need like how far above you are, since radar is kind of like doesn't really show like a height difference for most part in most games. So you technically would only need to do like a vector 2, and then you would put the z and as the y value inside of vector 2. But I'm gonna just go ahead and do like use a vector 3. So let's say enemy positions. I'm gonna just say new here, and let's actually do this. If other dot try get component, and basically this empty class here, like the radar detector, I could just say out radar radar detector, and I'm gonna just say radar detector. I'm actually gonna do return here. So basically, if we don't get, if the thing entering our radar field does not have a radar indicator, so it means that it's not something that should appear on your combat radar, just return. But if it is something that has a radar indicator, we could just say enemy positions dot add, and we can just literally say radar indicator dot transform dot position. And just to make sure we're not forgetting to remove them from the radar list, we can actually do this. So on trigger exit, and we can actually say remove. Actually, instead of saying instead of just adding the vector positions, I'm actually going to say radar indicator, and I'm actually going to just pass in the radar indicator instead. And the reason why is maybe you want to have it where like you have like hit markers or something on like your mini map. So maybe like the instead of the radar detector only showing like enemies, maybe you have it as like it also shows like save points or like healing stations, stuff like that. So I can actually just create like for example, I can actually create a enum. I could say like a radar marker type. I could say we'll do enemy as default, and maybe have it where you could like see allies. So maybe allies appear green on your radar and something like that. I'm gonna just say red, green, and it may be interest point, and I'm gonna just say orange. So orange. So let's do public radar type marker type. I'm gonna just say radar marker type. I'm gonna just say instead of plural, I'm gonna just do this. Yeah. So instead of passing in a vector tree, I'm actually going to just pass in the radar indicator. That way, like whenever I'm like actually adding the UI for like the radar positions, I can actually choose to have like some kind of icon. So you can literally just do this, and then what I'm going to do is when we get back into Unity after it finishes compiling, all you got to do is like for player rig, you can literally just go to your little radar spear, and I can just add like a radar indicator. Oh, not radar indicator, sorry, my bad. I'm gonna say combat radar system. And I made the list of stuff static, so it won't appear inside the inspector. But there's a reason for that. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and on the player rig, I'm actually going to go ahead and say player HUD, and I'm using UI toolkit. So I'm gonna first things first, like I said, I'm using Metroid for example. So we have like our little like radar circle and everything. So I'm gonna just add empty child. I'm gonna just say radar UI. Let's say UI. I'm going to do UI document. I'm actually going to use this as screen space, so let's just do let's just do that. And for now, I'm gonna, Okay. Actually, wait, dude, I think I already made like a random radar icon because I was bored. I know I got the scan visor and I have the X-ray visor like assets. Let's see. Let's go to. Maybe I don't. Okay. I think I was making it, but I don't know if I've ever actually. One second. I'm gonna see if I already have this. That way I don't have to remake this real quick. Oh, right. I moved stuff. I got a new hard drive and I put all the assets in a different thing. Okay, that's why. I was like, I swear I had it, but that's why. But anyways, so that is not what I was clicking on. Thank you, Windows. I love how sometimes in Windows, like you click on like the toolbar and the click actually goes through. But yeah, but anyways, like for example, you could just do this. Inkscape is a free tool. I'm gonna just actually use this as my example thing. Go and grab this real quick. Export. And I'm gonna just shove it. Like I'm gonna try to keep all the like visor stuff in one place. That way I can always find them. Okay, let's say combat visor. And let's go ahead and click this. I'm actually going to grab this folder real quick. I have 3 monitors, so I apologize if... Oh, that's weird. There we go. And... Oh, I forgot. Combat radar. All right, and there we go. Export. Grab this. Let Unity go ahead and. Oh, no, I want it as Inkscape. There we go. I was like, that's not the right icon. Okay, yeah. Also, if anybody hasn't used Unity 6.3 yet, vector support is built into the engine now. You don't have to like use any other packages or anything. And this icon here is actually the vector image thing. 1 second, I just gotta. My bearded dragon is doing weird. I've repped like 4-foot lizards running around, and I just need to like grab something from them. All right, sorry about that. I have like a little area that my little reptiles can actually just run around in, and they just have fun sometimes. Anyways, so I'm actually going to create a new thing. I'm gonna say combat radar. And I'm actually going to do it this way. I know you can actually, I did find that it's actually sometimes easier just to set like the icon inside of this. So I'm actually going to just do it this way. I'm going to grab this and wait, didn't they add it? I think they just recently added like just the image thing. There was always a image element, but it wasn't like revealed inside the library. Yeah, they did. Okay, cool. And I'm going to switch this to vector. So we got our like little like radar image now. And I'm going to just save that. And if we go into game, I can actually just add this combat radar image. And I'm going to make sure that is this actually world space? Yeah, it is. Oops. Okay, I need to create a screen space one. Let's do... actually, instead of creating a new folder, I'll just do this. Let's go to UI Toolkit. We're going to create a new panel asset. I'm going to just say combat visor. And I'm going to go and I'm going to actually set the combat visor as that. And there we go. Okay, now it appears inside of the actual thing. So basically, whenever we actually have our little like combat visor and so forth, It automatically so I have noticed that. Okay, I was like, what? It just delayed itself for a second, and I thought for a second it wasn't aligning. Anyways, I'm gonna just move that to the top left. So obviously I should put padding and stuff, but this is demonstration purposes. So let's say you have like a little radar here, and you want to have like little dots. So you could do a couple different things. You could actually just create a script that inherits from visual element, and you could just call it like radar dot. Let's actually do that. We do this. So actually, yeah. Also, if anybody hasn't seen it, you can actually make UI elements actually appear inside your hierarchy as well now. So there's a couple different ways we can actually do this. We could either make a new script and actually create the dots, but that might actually be overcomplicating things. Oh well, I'll just do it this way. I will just do it this way. All right, so I'm going to do it the simplest way first. I'm going to just say publicly UI document. I'm going to say combat radar UI dot. And technically, I could probably have this as private instead. And what I will do is I'm going to say private void update. So let's get the root element, or actually radar, radar image. Actually, we'll say like this is actually like a image type. Actually, before I do that, I should show this off. Let's actually talk about like how you would actually add the dots. Let's do here. So radar image. Whenever you grab like a visual elements like information through like API, there's a few different things. You can actually wait. I have not actually seen like all the stuff you can get with the new thing, but that would be something else. I believe it is. They removed a couple things. I believe they removed transform in favor of just using layout now. Yes, they did. Okay, cool. So radar image layout, you can actually get like the actual like rect transform and everything of the radar UI image. And with that, you could get like the width and everything of it. And as I mentioned before, if you want like a little radar dot to appear like halfway between you and like the edge radius, so let's say our radius is 5, enemy is to our right by 2.5 units. So that means we want the little orange dot of the enemy to appear halfway off the radar. Well, what you could do is you can actually like get the width of it. You can, let's say, for example, half. Let's just say like I believe it should actually, yeah, we're gonna just do this just so I can keep track of this. Float radar image width, because I don't want to have to type this out every single time, and I'm going to do the same thing for height. So I'm going to say radar image or width equals that, and same thing with height. So we'll have like our actual like height of the image and so forth. And what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a I'm going to actually set a way to say the radius of the radar. So let's say float, and let's say radar radius. And we will actually set the size of like the actual spear collider that will act as our radar detection system inside of it. I'm going to actually just say set the default of 5. And then, for example, with enemy positions, this is actually not like all the code, but like just for demonstration purposes, you can say actually, instead of enemy positions, I should actually rename this now, since I made it where it can show allies and so forth as well. Let's say radar indicators. Oh, I should have just used a rename thing, but yeah. Let's say radar or yeah, we'll just say indicator for now. We can actually get the indicator and like the transform position and so forth. And we can also say we'll also need like our character's position, so like the center of the radar. So let's actually just do this. I'm gonna actually just say yeah, I'm gonna just actually just make a transform. I'm gonna just say yeah, okay, I was gonna do this a different way, but I'm gonna just do it this way instead. If you're actually like doing this in production, character transform, you'd probably do this some other way. So what you could do is you could actually say leave its vector. Okay, so since the radar is not, we're not going to take height into calculations right now. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to like remap the Z to basically to the Y value. And the reason why I say that is vector 2 has a built-in function called distance. We're going to want to take the Z of both the character and also each radar indicators and actually get the distance to them. So we're going to want to do vector 2 character remap equals new vector 2, and we're going to just say character.transform. Make this a little bit easier. I'm going to say bar dot transform dot position. That way I don't have to type this out every single time. Dot Z. So we remap that. Same thing with this indicator remap, and we just say indicator dot. I'm going to actually do the same thing with the indicator because I do not want to have to like do this. And we're going to just say transformed up position. So we remap them. And then once we got a remap, we could just say distance from the character to indicator. And I'm going to say load distance, calculated distance. And let's say debug.log. And just to show this off, I'll say calculate distance there. Obviously, I should also do a couple things. I'm going to actually, we'll actually do this update just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to do this. We're going to also do like an if statement check for if like character transform equals null. Because if the character transform is null, yeah, I know it is technically you don't want to like do that kind of comparison inside update method, but oh well. This is demonstration purposes for now. So we can do this, and same thing with debug.log. You really don't want to like do that, like do this in there. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is now grab a couple items, and I'm gonna just make it. Oh, I forgot one thing. I literally took the actual like a radar because I wanted to do this. Let's do private sphere collider. Radar collider. Equals a component, and we're gonna just say a sphere collider. Okay, that was weird. It just randomly we're also gonna say we'll do those inside awake as well. All right, so just for demonstration purposes, I'm okay with like doing this check inside of update and also doing log. So remap each character's position, and technically I would only need to do this once. We don't need to do it per radar indicator. We do have to do this per radar indicator, but we only have to do this once per update frame. So yeah, that should be good. And before I forget, actually, I'm going to say try get component. And the reason why I'm saying that is I'm going to actually say out radar collider. And this way I can do this. So if I know the radar collider is not null, I can just go ahead and do radius equals radar radius. I can just do that. There we go. And what I'll do is, since I'm actually doing all this stuff here, I am actually going to make this list public just so we can actually like see them inside of Unity's inspector. So that's just, I'm going to create an empty game object. I'm going to just, it's going to be our fearful cube man. And I'm going to just add our radar indicator. I'm going to just mark him as enemy. And get rid of that. Just so I don't have to like keep reopening this, I'm going to actually right click at properties. And let's do it this way. Let's say radar, character radar system, character collider. And I'm gonna actually make sure that this is, yeah, 0, 0, yep. There we go. And I'm going to grab the player, grab that because I'll need that in a couple seconds just so we can do this. And go to Mr. Fearful Cube. Alright, grab. So I'm gonna split screen views. I feel like once you get like both scene view and game view open, it just takes so much of your screen. And what we're gonna do is, while we have our little radar list open, I'm gonna take our fearful little cube, and also let's check to see like how far out like that actual like sphere collider is. Oh, I forgot to set the is trigger on that. I was like, And we're also gonna need to do a rigid body. Yeah, that works. So player, or sorry, go back to our radar, and then we're gonna make sure that our fearful cube, whenever he enters, Is trigger. Okay, wait. Well, that's a fun thing. The fearful cube. I do have this mark as is trigger, right? Yes. Oh, wait. Oh, did I accidentally like did I put a spear collider on Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Okay, so I was like, why is there a second random collider? And then I remembered what I was testing out before. Alright, so grab this our little sucker, and that is a fun time. So I do have the spear collider as is trigger, but it's actually I don't have provide context on either. Ooh. Oh, okay. So this is a fun one. Hold that thought. Wait a second. I don't think I have that set in my project settings. Thought I had all my okay. So when I updated to Unity 4 or 6.4 alpha, I apparently some of my physics settings and stuff got like reset. That's fun. Okay. Let me redo some of these settings, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna have to redo some of my physics settings. Well, that's just fantastic. Okay. Oh no. Okay. That's also another thing. I was like, why is there there was a second spear collider. I forgot. It is like it was super early morning when I started like this stream. Okay, well, let me phrase it. I was still felt like it was super early morning. Okay, but my physics settings were also changed. Okay, there we go. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's the fun times of like being a rough like getting up and not being fully awake. But as you see, okay, so Fearful Cube, we got him entering. Okay, so he appears on the inside the list now. And what we want to do is, if you see right here, as the Fearful Cube gets closer, we are getting the distance between him and the character. And now, since the Fearful Cube is actually a certain thing, what we could do is we can actually make him start appearing on the radar. So a couple different ways we could do that. We could, I'm actually going to serialize this real quick. And I'm going to actually say also radar image equals null. Return. All right, so if they're in this list, we know that they're within distance because they're within the radar collider. So what we could do is I'm going to actually go and add a couple things real quick. I'm going to actually set this up. We're going to have both these open for a second. Make this a little bit easier. I'm going to actually drag this into here. And, you know, we'll just stay in here. I'm going to say we're going to do visual UI visual element. And I'm going to just do this. Come on. Okay, I see it trying to do auto like a auto like a close tag, but it just did not want to do that. Oh wait. I don't think element's not close yet. No kidding. It's I love how. Wait a second. Oh my gosh. They changed their UXML. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to look this up. But so fun fact: if you have JetBrains Writer, it I'm not sure if Visual Studios 2026 finally had this, but they actually have like debugging for like the UXML and so forth. So, um, oh, you know what? No, it's just me. I'm just very tired. Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I said, I do apologize. It is, I'm, I have narcolepsy and like I sometimes like start to like literally fall asleep. Like I actually take medicine for narcolepsy and stuff. And whenever it starts to kick in, little brain fog happens. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna just have it where this is gonna be our radar, let's say radar, or let's say just say indicator container. Let's just do this indicator container. So basically, like whenever we have a new radar dot appear on the screen, we're going to add it to this component or this UI piece. So I probably should, just for my own sanity's sake, I'm going to actually do this as well. Keep that there for a second. I'm going to just actually no. Instead of serializing it, we don't need to serialize that. I can actually just say visual element. I'm going to just say indicator container. I'm actually going to just copy this for a second. And what I'm going to do is we're going to say indicator container equals radar image dot q. So we query and get the actual like indicator. I'm going to just say name. Now I'm going to say IntelliSense actually kicking back in. I think I actually saw it. Okay, yeah. So when IntelliSense works in JetBrains Writer, actually like show like it will actually understand like, hey, you're actually trying to reference like this UMX build, which is very useful. And what we could do is inside the indicator container, we can actually just do this. We can actually say add, and we can actually add a new visual element. And no joke, we can actually let's do this. We're going to say image actually. And we're going to say indicator dot. We're going to just do new image. I'm going to just say name. Did they have it where image has a constructor for name? Okay, well, I'm not sure if they do, but there's a couple things we're going to have to like do. So I'm going to just say dot indicator. And I need to put string quotation marks. But this is actually a good time to check this out with JetBrains Writer. It is smart enough to do it. Okay, good. I'm going to just set it there, and we're going to actually just add this. So now every time we have a new indicator, we're going to add it to the radar UI image list. And what that's going to do is you can actually see it already, or should be able to see it already. Once I actually add, or once the enemy actually gets within like the range of the radar, it should actually be added. And we can actually tell it's been added because since Unity now allows like a UXML to actually appear inside of the thing, we can actually grab this cube. I need to add oh, I forgot. I actually added the ridge body outside of the thing. All right, so we're gonna go here and we're gonna actually go and get within distance of the radar system, and we're gonna make sure that the oh, not radar UI. I guess okay. Brain damage. Okay. Set this to trigger. I'm gonna do this outside of freaking play mode. That way I don't lose my sanity. And go here, make sure. Okay, yeah, there we go. Also, make sure that I didn't set the box slider to trigger for the fearful enemy. But anyways, now we go here, and now if I actually go to the radar UI and I actually grab things, come on, Mr. Fearful Cube. But I did set the, all right. This is why you don't do stuff in play mode. You always do like test the stuff out inside of edit mode. There we go. Anyways, so radar indicator's been added. Now if we actually go to here and go, hopefully, oh no. Eagles. Let's actually make sure that it actually got this. All right, so let's do. Oh, so technically logic work. What happened was I never set up the radar image. I forgot radar image is actually not serializable. So what I need to do is I actually do this. I meant to say if the combat radar UI document is, and if that's it, I can actually say root container or root visual element, this query that, and I could say image and do name. I don't remember if I actually set a name to the image, so we're gonna just add a name here. I'm gonna say radar radar image. We'll just do radar image. Grab this. Another fun thing about doing streams, doing everything on spot. And then I'm gonna just say radar image equals. And instead of querying that, I can just say query this instead. And we're gonna actually query this. Said okay, so and an image does not equal null. Then we do this. And that should be good now. All right. Display mode. Oh. There we go. And now try to see it. And I've already forgot to remove the second spear inside play. By the way, I'm just doing this fun. I literally woke up this morning. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do this. So like, I really didn't do any like testing or anything. Like I'm just like doing this from memory. I'm going to actually remove the spear. And now if we go here, yep, there we go. All right, so we got it. And there you go. You'll notice, ooh, okay. So fun fact, I actually did not think about this. I forgot I was testing this out inside of, update mode. But anyways, you saw it was actually adding like a little indicator dot. So now if we actually like actually add like a little like orange image or something to that, it would actually appear inside the UI and we can actually set it up. So now since we actually have like this actually like being added, what I'm going to need to do is, instead of doing it, yeah, okay, so we're gonna do it this way. This is actually smart. This is how you would probably do it inside a production, like on radar indicator added. This is probably how you would actually do this in production. Instead of doing this, I'm gonna do I'm gonna just say on radar indicator added, and we're gonna do this instead. We're gonna go into here, and I'm gonna just do this. Grab that. There we go. Yeah, this way we're not like doing it per update. Obviously, we will also do this as well. Yeah, so this is probably how you would do it more closer to like actual like production is you just actually do on radar indicated. And that way you're only like doing it whenever you actually are getting something new on radar. Also, Zix, I'm so sorry. Today's literally the first day I've had any time to actually like look at stuff. So I'll be looking at all the pixel art that you sent me later today. I only have like 10 more minutes before I have to like do go back to like doing normal work stuff, but I should be able to get this done within then that time, I hope. I'm also going to do this as well. I'm gonna say on radar indicator removed, and we're actually gonna do this as well. And the reason why, we actually need to remove the actual dot. So we created the dot, right? We actually created the dot and so forth. So what we can do here is, okay, so we're gonna have to link each dot to like a data point. That way we can say this dot is actually for this one character. That way, like whenever we remove it, we know, oh, hey, we're removing this dot. So what we can do is actually just do something like this. Private list radar indicator and let's do image. Wait, this is gonna be some weird syntax if no one's seen this before. Radar dot pairs. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna be doing I remember you can do a like tuple list if I or like actually wait, is it this? Yeah. Okay. I was like, okay, I couldn't remember 100% if I remember the right syntax for this. Okay, so yeah, you can literally just declare a dual list like this and have them linked in C#. If all you do is you, it's kind of like a tuple pretty much, but for list. So what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna say, I'll actually say dot add new Hi, you two weirdos. I have a Savannah monitor just climbing around randomly. Are you having fun over there? Just dragging stuff through my room? All right. Anyways, so yeah. So if you notice, it actually recognizes that okay, this is a radar pair. So I can actually say, or I can actually put in the actual like radar indicator, and I can also put in the indicator dot here. There we go. And then what I can do is on the other side, whenever we remove it, we just say dot remove. And we do radar indicator, and then, well, actually, we first have to like actually get the indicator dots, and how we can do that is I can say var indicator dot equals radar dot pairs dot find, and I'm gonna say indicator here, indicator. I'm gonna say indicator dot let's use this the first item. Oh, I'm gonna name these real quick. Okay, so you can also technically name them. I'm gonna say radar indicator. I'm gonna say radar dot. That way they're a little bit easier. And I'm gonna say find. And now I should be able to say like, okay, yeah, it does say that now. And we just get the indicator that we're removing. So now we have the let's do radar dot pair. Now we have this, and now I could just do that. There we go. Yay. So now if I actually go up here, I can actually make sure I did remove this. Okay, I did remove it. Now, whenever we like enter and exit a like actual like enemy, what is it called? Enemy radar indicator, it'll only add one instead of like constantly adding them. And I'm going to just go ahead and show this. So we have none right now. Once the cube gets into a radius, there you go. You'll see that it actually adds the image. And then if well, technically I got to make it like, technically, make sure I actually got this correct. Actually, let's make sure that if I just move, oh, I want to do this first. Yeah, might want to do this first. I was like, wait a second. Make sure I'm actually adding the radar dot pair. Okay, yeah. For a second, I thought, oh crap, did I forget to like actually add this radar dot pair? No, I did. I didn't. Okay, so Oh, okay. It was working. I just like it actually was removing the remove pairs. What I forgot to do was I forgot to actually like remove it like from the actual container. So what I need to do is I actually need to take the indicator thing, and I actually need to say remove, and we need to say the actual dot, radar dot, because this is the UI, and then after that, then we removed the pair. I just forgot one line. I remembered to remove it from our list of active radar indicators, but I forgot to remove it from the UI. Anyways, and now if I go back. So now, there we go. Go radar. Let's go play mode. All right, so it's added and it's removed. Added, removed. So as you see, once the enemy gets out of it, it's removed. So if we actually go to game mode here, do you know, like I haven't added any visuals to it, so it's technically not like there's like nothing appearing inside the radar, but like once I add like an actual like dot or something, then you'll be able to see it actually appear. But yeah, so that's pretty much how you could do a radar thing. You just whenever you're up here, you just need to remember it's like whatever your sprite you want. So if you're doing an SVD or image or whatever, you could say like, okay, for me, I'm using like a vector image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just go ahead. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to just say vector image. I'll just say vector or image, and I'm going to just say radar dot image. I could just say radar dot image if it's not null. Okay, so we should probably actually add another check right here. If radar dot image just equals null as well, it will return. Yeah, so I can literally set a SVG now, and it will actually add it to the radar. And yeah, that's pretty much all you really got to do for like a radar system. Oh, we need to add the math to it. That way you can actually like position correctly on the actual like image. So if I actually go, I actually grab, I didn't serialize that, did I? No. One second. Let's gotta serialize that. I was like, that's not right. All right, there we go. now I was while it's loading, I'm actually was making like actual like a actual like dot on it. Let's do this real quick. I'm gonna just add a red dot. Um, 1 second, my lizard is doing something weird. Sorry, I was actually going to. I'm making a orange dot real quick so we can actually see. My lizard's being weird. Anyways, okay, so try to remember document. Gonna make this like let's do red for like enemy, and then let's say radar dot. I know it's beautiful. It's just the greatest thing. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and like since we're done like actually using Metroid as an example, I'm gonna actually go ahead and like close that out. Gilbert Dolphin close. There we go. All right, so now we have our little radar at the top left. We have our new little radar dot. Now I'm gonna just add a radar dot. I'm also gonna make sure that that actually looks correct. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we have our radar dots, and just to show that it's actually being added to the UI, I'm gonna just go in. Last thing we got to do is like actually position it, and also ignore this error. This is actually a Unity editor bug. But now if we actually go to the player rig and we go to radar real quick on the left side here, there's no thing within range of the player to appear in the radar. If I move the cube that we're just using as a test, boom, you'll see that a radar dot was added using UI Toolkit. And at the current moment, you'll see that dot appears just kind of over in the corner. All right, so what we got to do now, last thing, is actually position that dot over inside of the radar thing. So got a couple things. We already got the radar image width and so forth. So what we got to do is we now got to get the percentage of like how far away it is. So if our calculated distance is done for us already, we just need distance percent equals 4. What's that? Never heard of that value type. I'm gonna just say sphere, or actually I call it radar radius, and we're gonna just say yeah, we should be able to say like calculate distance. So that gives us the distance percent. So if the enemy is halfway, like 50% inside our radar range, we want it to appear 50% to the side of, like, so if it's halfway to the right, we want the image to appear halfway through there. So we want the percentage. We now need the direction of where like the enemy is. So if the enemy is to the right, left, that way we know which direction we're actually placing the radar dot. We could do that actually quite easily because before we actually got the same thing. So I'm gonna actually like duplicate this line and direction, and instead we're gonna say vector 2 has a lot of like nice little things inside of it, like dot product and so forth. Also has like distance. My brain might be messy right now, but I want to make sure that I'm thinking of this correctly. Can't remember if I need to flip the like left hand inside and right hand side. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna just debug.log this out, and I want to make sure that I'm actually remembering this correctly. All right, actually go into game real quick. my character is facing forward, so the cube should be on the left side of the radar. So if I actually get inside the player rig, and actually we already know it's gonna appear, so we need to just make sure like right, we need them normalized. Right, usually you want to normalize the vectors before sending them in. Da, 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 yeah, okay. Negative. Okay, so it was at least negative. So that like actually wait, does dot product do? Yeah, okay, that was actually correct. Actually, you know what? We might, instead of dot product, we might want to cross product. 1 second, because I was thinking, you know, that gives us our left hand or right hand side, but it doesn't tell us the actual like up or down. You know what? Now since I think about it, I'm actually overcomplicating this a lot because I already did something earlier that we actually could just do character remap and actually just minus the indicator remap. And what we need is this. So I can actually just do vector2 calculated direction. I might be able to just like actually like normalize those to like the resulting value. We're gonna see this. I want to make sure my thought process is actually correct on this. That way we get like the position left, right, and up. Because once we get that like that, then we can actually just go ahead and place the dot in whatever direction that we're actually seeing the enemy coming towards. Okay, wait. I might actually be right. What is the right, so Fairfield Cube is wait a second. Hold on. Oh, okay. I just realized. Let's actually center the player rig to 0, 0. I was like, wait a second. Those numbers do not look correct, and I know why. Because I was about to say like if the character was like 0, 0, that would not look like correcting. Okay, yeah. So, okay, looks a little bit more what I was expecting. Um, there we go. Yes. All right. So, all right. So I was actually right. I was actually right that I did need to switch these two. Okay, so there we go. We got to calculate direction. That's pretty much all I needed to do. Now we got the distance percentage of that. So let's go ahead and do this now. So with our indicator dot, we can actually go to layout, and there's actually a position thing. Yay. And we can actually oh, I actually read only get set. Okay. Now we should be able. This should be okay. I'm pretty sure we can work with this. Might have to like instead of using layout, we might have to do something else. Might have to like do like a world transform of it, but that's okay. Do you know I am using Unity 6.4. Some of the APIs change. I know like transform like in general for UI elements has been removed. Basically, what we need to do is use the radar image position on screen as the center. And then after we get the radar image on screen, we use the percentage. I'm gonna move my mic for a second, that way it like the keyboard isn't like going into it. So once Oh, I just realized my mic was muted the entire time. Oh my god, no. I forgot to unmute my mic. Well, okay, well, anyways, we're done. I hope. We're gonna see. Now it should, okay, if I'm doing my math correct, I'm gonna actually put it over here. Now whenever an enemy like gets within a certain distance, it should automatically make the dot appear. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Okay, so oh, I actually know why. Close. So the math is correct. It's just I need to make this oh yeah. It's because it wasn't like a child of this. So if I actually like grab this, yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it was. All right. Your toolkit debugger time. So reason why it's off. If I actually go to the combat visor, let's go here inside, and this is why this is such a useful thing. I need to actually have this. If I actually set this container to absolute, let's actually do that real quick. Let's do position. Actually, let's do this real quick. Let's actually, so I don't have to actually worry about like the weirdness of this. Let's actually just create a what is it called? A style sheet or a theme sheet real quick. I'm going to say combat visor style. Actually, should be just like USS. I'm going to grab this and go in here, and I'm going to just go inside of the visors and actually grab the stuff. Visual elements, visor controls. And we're going to just grab this real quick. And I call this indicator container. Let's do position absolute. I was trying to do it from like it was trying to add like the position based off the actual like visual element container and not like absolute from the actual like entire screen space. All right, now we do this. Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, technically yes, and no. Fun fact, you know, if I want it to actually appear, I need to actually add the style sheet to the theme. So I need to add this real quick. There we go. And just to make my life a little bit easier, what I might do is I might actually set this up. Oh, gotta save that. I unfortunately I gotta go. I gotta do finish one thing for work. So this is gonna be like my last moment. I was doing this from scratch. I was just trying to see if I could like this is just like a learning thing. No, okay, so I was hoping the absolute window. No, not bad. I mean, I got almost all of it. I just need to have the dot placed. Let me make sure like dot indicator. Oh, okay. So I set the container as actual like okay, yeah. So what happened was yeah, I actually set the container as world space, and I'm into okay. Combat system, what did I name it? Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. That needs to be yay. Yay. Unfortunately, I ran out of my little experimentation time. This is all I have for experimenting. This was fun though. I mean, I just need to actually like just have the dot like actually placed inside of it. Oh, I love these. Also, just ignore like some of these. These are actually like Unity issues currently. I think they fixed them in the next alpha. It just hasn't been released yet. Oh, okay. Well, let's go layout real quick. Actually, classes. Oh, wait a second. Hold it on. Why is that? I just realized. Actually did not apply the style. Name dot indicator image matching selectors. Yeah, no matching selectors. Unity default. Okay, it is showing the combat visor. Yeah, the combat visor is actually there. Dot slash indicator dot image. Oh, okay. So world space or like yeah, you know what? That's probably it. If I go to the inspector, I go to panel source. Okay. So code's right. What it is, just for anybody that ever sees this in future, I was testing out Cinemachine sample stuff, and for some reason the default runtime theme defaulted to the Cinemachine samples, not mine. That is where things started to get messed up. That actually explains a lot more. I was so confused. I was like, what? That looks right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So not a code problem. Just wrong asset version, or wrong asset was actually selected by default. See, there we go. It works. Ah. I think actually wait. Let's oh yeah, it does work. Yeah, that's correct. Hey, the orange dot's too big, but it did actually actually did make it like actually let's make sure that it actually removes the dot. Yeah, okay, so that's what it was. It wasn't even code. It was just Unity being Unity. Oh, you know what? I know why they did that. Okay, let's make sure that whenever I add this, oh no, oh, depression. Okay, it mostly works. Oh, I need a yeah, okay. So the code I've already written works. I just need to also now like yeah, I need to actually just like do layout position. I need to do one more thing after this, but I run out of time. Okay, unfortunately I gotta go, but hey, we're one step away from the radar working. The dot actually like enemy dots actually appear on the radar. I just need to actually flip a value and we're good. Or not flip a value, but like add a like another offset value. Okay, that was a longer stream than I was expecting. I literally woke up this morning and I just want to like just do something. I wanted to just figure out, I wanted to look at one game mechanic and on live stream just see if I can actually remake it, and that's it. So I got pretty good far at it. I can actually shorten this to a smaller video and actually make it where you like actual like learning video. But this is more of a self-learning thing. I got a call though. I got to do some more stuff. But thank you all for joining. You guys have a wonderful day. And whoever sees this video, I hope you enjoyed me just like stumbling through like radars and mini maps stuff.